Tally-ho, everyone. Welcome back in. This is our episode number 2 of our Malta story, the Malta buddy build that I'm having with my friend Jamie Haggo. He's also working on a kit as well. We'll take a look at some of his work a little later on in this video, and of course, I'll have links for that and his channel in the description below. And so, cracking open the box, we find a lot of plastic. Enough plastic, matter of fact, this is a dual combo kit. There's enough plastic in here to build 2 different Spitfires. There are 15 different options available here through this kit. Just find the one you want from the color plates in the rear of the booklet and follow the numbering sequence throughout. Well, as you all know, I'm traditionally an armor modeler, and that means that we basically start with the tedious tasks. We clean up the road wheels, we add the suspension, but not on aircraft, no way, no how. We go straight for the fun stuff. We start out with the cockpit. Now, this isn't my first aircraft, of course. I've built a few of them over time, but it's been a very long time since I built an aircraft. And what that basically means is I'll be following the kit instructions just more or less out of the box. I do have the Barracuda resin upgrade kit that'll be adding some bits and pieces here too as well. But basically, as you know, just kind of following the kit instructions. I do have some references. I'm adding some wiring, mostly just kind of representative wiring. It's not necessarily accurate or precise. Let's say, just kind of busy up the cockpit. And one of the downfalls of doing this simultaneously with your buddy, Jamie here, who is an expert aircraft builder as well, he has an eye for how to do various little nuances and upgrades and detailing onto things that I just don't have the eye to do quite yet because I just don't have that experience. I need to slow down, I think, a little bit, watch his videos, and then do my steps, and I'll just steal a bunch of the tricks and tips from him. Well, thievery aside, I'm having a great time doing this. It's a lot of fun. This is an ink I'm using at the moment here just to profile out some of these surface details, add some shadowing here and there. It's an acrylic product, super easy to use, basically like a panel liner, just a little bit of a different type of a product. You can see how easily it just flows around the details, and then you can come back with a clean, damp brush and just clean up any excess. I mentioned a little earlier that I had the Barracuda Studios upgrade, the resin upgrade cockpit section here, and that was upon recommendation from Jamie. He thought it would be a nice addition and that I would enjoy working with it. And yes, these are really nice parts, the most significant feature being the replacement of the kit's seat and harness area with the resin upgrade. The harness in this case is actually molded into the resin piece versus, say, the Eduard photo etch that you could use if you use the kit parts. You know, it's depending on your preference, but I did enjoy working with this. I enjoy the hand painting part of it. And now I'm getting to that point where I can maybe start trying to fit things together and see how things go. I'm a little bit apprehensive here because you just never know if everything's going to fit. But a few dry fits here and there, I'm pretty confident I'll get everything to kind of float into place, click it into place. And it doesn't look so bad. And like I said before, there's quite a few details I could have added, or a little bit of finessing I could have done better here and there. But all in all, I'm not too unhappy with this. The instrument panel comes straight from the Eduard kit. It has basically multi-layers of colored photo etch, painted photo etch, printed photo etch, if you will. So all the gauges, the dials and knobs and stuff already have the color pre-printed on them, which is really nice and adds a really nice level of finesse and detail. I'm sure you guys are familiar with that. And now we're getting close to that time where we're gonna come to reckoning here. We're going to the crossroads. Let's see if everything is going to fit within the fuselage. So I'm going to snap out my left and right halves. I've got some pre-painting going on the inside there. And now it's time to click everything together and see if everything fits. So that's a pretty good stopping spot for me, just for the moment here. We'll be right back, but let's take a look and see what Jamie's been up to. So I encourage you to go over to see Scale Modeling Cafe, that's Jamie's YouTube page, and watch his video on this same area here where he does the cockpit. He has an entire video dedicated to building of the cockpit. Now this is one of those points where I'm going like, oh, geez, I should have thought about drilling out the lightning holes and things like that. Those are the things that I was talking about a little bit earlier that Jamie does through experience and just has that keen eye for adding those little details. Easy stuff to do. I just, like I said, don't have the experience to do it. I love the way he's taken the time for the attention to the wiring and such. He's also using the Barracuda Studios upgrade as well. You can see him painting out his seats and the harnesses. He goes into quite a bit of detail about his painting process and philosophy about that on his video. And You know, the way this works between the two of us and the way we've been working with this buddy build now so far is we chat, I don't know, 3-4 times a week perhaps, sometimes just quick, sometimes a little bit more lengthy. We'll send photographs back and forth, and we'll send some of our raw video footage back and forth, and that's what you're seeing here. This is before Jamie actually put together his video. I had a few of his clips, and I've included them here, and then I just went and watched his video, which again I encourage you to do. And he goes into good explanation on what he's doing, why he's doing it, and some of the building process. And if you want to really learn how to build an aircraft from a master modeler, check out Jamie's Scale Modeling Cafe, because he does great work, this one included. And he's getting to exactly the same point where I'm at. We're sticking the fuselage together, and his fits well. So that's encouraging. That means that hopefully mine will as too. So we'll pick back up here with mine at basically the same place. Like I said, head on over to Jamie's Scale Modeling Cafe. There's a look at Jamie. He's about ready to take off. He's a real airplane guy. And we'll be back in just a second. A special thank you to all my amazing Patreon members for your incredible support. Your contributions help me continue to create content for this channel. If you're not already a member, I invite you to join our Patreon community. As a member, you'll gain access to exclusive behind-the-scenes content, early releases, and more. I hope you'll consider joining Patreon and supporting this channel. Thank you very much. I really enjoy watching Jamie do his work, and a lot of those little ideas, those simple things like drilling out the lightning holes, you know, those are things that I'll tuck away for my next aircraft. Those are easy to do, like I said, and it'll just make my build that much better on the next one. But for this one, here we are. We've got our fuselage halves ready to go. Kind of test fitting there, getting that cockpit into place. And yep, everything fit. Now we're ready to commit to glue. Now this is a big step in my world here, because, oh, you know, I've built enough things that just don't fit, and I'm very afraid, apprehensive, what's the right word here, of the seam lines on these aircraft, because I know that those are something that can be very difficult to deal with. Luckily, this one goes together fairly well here, and I am just basically pinching small sections at a time with the glue into it, letting it set, and I'm just kind of working my way from front to back. There are a few little seam lines here and there, so I'm just going to use some fine grit sandpaper and a little bit of filler. Sand those back a bit, trying to be careful of my surface details, the panel lines and things like that. But there will be a point here where, luckily, I was prepared for this idea. I ended up getting a scriber here, scribing tool, so I'll be using that here, as you'll see in just a second, and rescribe some of these lines here where I knock back some of the detail. Thought ahead on that part, so that was a good thing. So I get to this point where everything looks pretty good, it feels good to the touch, but of course the real test is going to be once I get some primer paint on here, and we'll see what shows up under paint. But until then, let's continue on. Let's put some wings on this Spit. So just clipping these out here, nothing big deal here about this at all. There's a few areas that we're going to take a little bit of time. We've drill out a few extra holes here and there, depending on which variant you're working on, cleaning out some of these gun ports and things like that. Nothing too crazy. It's all instructed in the booklet here, so just follow the instructions carefully. Again, following the reference number. This one happens to be number J in the reference in the back of the book. As I said, there are 15 different aircraft that are represented that can be built from this kit. You can build 2 of them with the markings included and the parts included. Building out the wheelbase here. Just basic modeling at this point in time, so I'm not feeling too stressed at this point. When it came time to actually assemble the wings and attach them to the fuselage, there are quite a few different options. At least I figured you could follow here. You could just put the lower wing on and then attach the uppers to that after everything's in place. You could do what I decided to do here is actually build them up first and click them onto the fuselage. Now, honestly, I did a lot of dry fitting before I decided to commit down to this path, because the last thing I wanted was to put everything together and find out that I was a smidge off one way or another and it was too tight or too loose or something to that effect. But give it to Eduard, everything just clicked right into place. No big gaps or anything like that to deal with, so I'm really, really happy with that. And then just a matter of finishing up some of these parts on the lower part of the fuselage here. Turn this into the tropical version, as you can see here with this expanded intake cowling thing, whatever you call it. Just cleaning up some of those seam lines. Yeah, I'm an aircraft expert. You can tell by now, right? And then once that's all cleaned up and ready to go, I'll just go ahead and cement that into place. And now we start to have an airplane that's, well, it looks like a Spitfire, by golly, so I must have followed some of those instructions correctly. And now here's the best part, because now I have a Spitfire in my hand, I can play with it, and I can make airplanes sounds and things like that. Yes, I'm back to being 5 years old here, but this is a lot of fun. Look at my barrel roll, that's pretty cool, huh? I'm quite the pilot as well, and I'm coming down for landing. So anyway, you can tell I'm having a good time doing this. I'm having a blast working with Jamie on this buddy build. So I'm going to continue to work on the assembly here, and the next video, I'm going to start working on the paint job. I'm not exactly sure where Jamie's going with his next video at all, but I'll start working on painting, which I've gotten a pretty good start on, so that's a good deal. It's got this really cool Malta blue that I'm working with, and some distinctives, characteristics with the Claude Weaver version that I'm going to be putting together here as well. So we'll cover that on the next video. Until then, everybody, take care and happy modeling.